Yeah, every so often there's just one shot that ends up being like the perfect thumbnail. And
Yeah.
honestly, the two times that I've seen it happen for like videos that, I'm in,
Yeah.
um, both of them have been you.
Yeah. The something tension between me and Gabby. And
Yeah,
that one is so funny as well. And I love your
I love
art
that one.
version of it too.
Thank you. It sparks so much joy.
It sparks joy with me too.
That
Him
was
and
really such a good episode, and it has so much build up, and I'm really excited for when we finally get to see some payoff for that build up.
yeah. I think that might have been the last session of Lasting Life where
Oh,
I or
that took me out.
that took me out, and like I was actually having an anxiety attack the whole session, which is why I did
Oh
some
my gosh.
really bad moves because I was just completely out of it. I wasn't there.
We
I
should
thought,
maybe figure out like a contingency for that, 'cause I feel like a lot of people got really stressed. Like,
yeah,
and more so than anyone was expecting.
yeah. Well, like I really got into it, right? So I really wanted to do well, and I wanted to protect my polycule and stuff, and it bled into like my actual real, emotions.
Yeah.
And then I think I probably had maybe a bit of a long day before that, or maybe I just didn't prepare enough, like, emotionally to start doing it. But either way, like, once we started that session, I was, like, not actually doing well that day. So which ruined, like, my chances of doing well in the actual session, too. Like, I might have not died, third if if I had been in a better like place, but I was like so slightly manic. I get mania at certain points with anxiety and with ADHD when they hang out too much, bad things happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Those two are not allowed to interact.
Yeah, I was experiencing actual like I want to say physical symptoms, but I don't even know symptoms of what.
Yeah.
I had a
hard.
real physical reaction.
Yeah. I felt bad how you died. I felt bad about killing Cappy in session 2. Like, really bad.
I mean, it made for a great clip in the next season at the end of session 2, and Cappy's like, I made it past session
2! Yeah.
That was quite fun. And
despite
like,
having so many... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Despite having so many less lives to go around and, like, the whole pairing thing and how fast so many of us went to yellow, it's been so much more chill, Love Life. Like, we haven't actually gone down to red yet.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
I think it's a good thing. Cappy was smart with doing Last Life first, because I think they actually mentioned they wanted to do, like, the one that everybody wants to do is Double Life.
That's funny, because I don't like the mechanics of Double Life as much as Last Life.
Okay, for the lore, for the drama.
Yeah, I just...
Not necessarily for the chances of winning.
Oh, no, that's not what I mean. I meant, like, I like the ability to sort of choose and be, like, and have, like, relationships with people that are not dependent on the luck of the draw, you know?
That's true. I mean, like, again, it is possible to choose. Like, that's what Scott Leo did, like, Divorce Quartet.
Uh-huh. I also liked the bigger groups that it made, you know?
That's true, yeah.
And I really do like Love Life as well.
Yeah.
And the fact
I guess,
that
okay, so... See, you get some
it's
really, like, dramatic pairings.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also think it's a little funny, because we were like, yeah, we're gonna team, and then we didn't. And then we was like, you can team now.
Yeah. No, you have to team now. It would be funny, though, if, like, some, like, really wild pairings happened. Because like Cappy and I being enemies, I was in some way hoping that I would end up paired with Cappy, because that would have been so funny. Because you and I were, like, somewhat allies and somewhat enemies. Like, the whole time, right? Like, we were sort of teamed, right?
A little bit. I was mostly lying to you, but you also knew that the whole time, except no one else listened to you about that.
I know. And I also felt, even though I didn't believe you about anything ever, I still felt bad, and, like, I was like, well, I have to, like, I gave you a life, because you were so pathetic.
Yeah. Seems to be mostly what I have going for me. Just really pathetic.
It's funny. I can't wait to start Love Life again, though.
Yeah.
Just so much fun. I'm thinking, like, it would be fun to... Like, I wonder what we're gonna be able to do for any next sessions. Like, I know we've got to figure out the schedules first, but like, I don't think that we'd be able to do Secret Life.
No, because that required a lot of, like, external stuff. Like, no one in the game could know what the stuff.
Yeah. So, and we don't have that. And, like, the issue is that if we use the tasks that were used in Secret Life, if we, like, copied them, we would immediately guess, when people are acting a certain way. Like, trying to make puns. It's like, your task is to make puns and have people not laugh at them or something. Like, I don't remember what that was.
But we can come up with like our own life thing.
Yeah, I was trying to think of some mechanics that would be fun. But I forgot them.
But yeah, I think it was smart what Cappy did, because she said, like, okay, maybe not everybody, but at least what she really wanted to do was, Love Life for the drama. But starting us on Last Life was smart, because, then you're, like, we established dynamics.
Yeah.
That we wouldn't have otherwise. And the casual server helped establish dynamics too.
Yeah, between some people.
But that's like, that was just between some people, and also, that was in a different setting. Like, this is establishing sort of like our story dynamics, basically.
The lore.
Exactly. That was smart, because then, like, the fact that you and I got paired is, like, really interesting, because we have that history.
Absolutely.
Whereas just getting paired with someone and you don't even really know them all that much is...
Yeah. A little bit more awkward.
Like,
like, there's certain people that if I was paired with it, like, it would have been completely, like, starting over in Lasting Life. Because I didn't interact with everybody in, Lasting Life.
That is true.
The pillagers, I never interacted with any of them. 'Cause, like, you and Cappy I interacted with, because you guys were, like, the antagonists. But the pillagers were, like, just, like, you know, over there. They ended up, you know, taking out my whole team, but that wasn't, like, the drama part. Yeah, that wasn't personal. I didn't have anything against any of them, even though they were, like, quite literally our enemies. I think some of the polycule were more, like, into, like, the enemy stuff with them than with you guys, but for me it was you guys.
Yeah, we were very much the pests, or at least I was.
Yeah, you and Cappy. Cappy was the pest.
Shrimp was the least pest and lasted the longest, so I think there's something to be said for not being a pest.
Yeah, but some of the, like, distrust has lasted, right? Which means that, like, you and me by extension, and Cappy and stuff, we have some, like work to do because people don't trust you.
Yeah. And that's why that became, like, my whole thing.
Your redemption arc.
Yeah, trying to anyways.
Yeah. We'll see how that works.
Because people absolutely are not going to trust me after how I acted in the first season.
Really?
And it's hard. It's hard not just being a pest.
Uh-huh.
It's so much fun.
Oh, I know. It's more fun to be chaotic and bad and stuff. Like, I wanted to be the chaotic, like, evil, you know? I ended up caring too much about people to do that. My character fell in love.
Oh.
But it's fun to be the bad guy.
Yes. You won't win, but you'll have a great time.
Yeah. Lasting Life didn't last very long, ironically, but it was very fun while it did last. And Love Life has already got more episodes than Lasting Life ever did, but we are not on Red yet, so that's fun. We've got a lot of chaos in the coming weeks once we get it set up again.
I will say, if you go check out the videos, the first two, I had, at the point of those videos, I had purchased my mic. It had not arrived yet.
Yeah.
So the first two episodes, first of all, the first two episodes are long because I was still learning how to edit, and I'm still learning how to edit today, but I'm better at it now.
I love those videos. I love the first video.
I do recognize their. Yeah, if you can get past the audio quality and if you enjoy long videos, then I highly recommend episode 1. MJ is actually fantastic in it.
I am hilarious.
Most of my favorite moments from that video are MJ based.
I was just thinking about another reason that Last Life ended up being so good with us as enemies is that you're the only person that I knew before. I didn't have time to be on the casual server, so I didn't meet anybody else. So you were the one person I was comfortable being mean to.
Yeah.
Because we're already friends.
Probably people underestimate how important it is, like, having an established relationship with someone.
Yeah.
That, because the thing is, yeah, in this series it is expected that people are going to be mean and stuff, but there is a certain level of, like, how mean can you be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can even see that in, like Last Life, like the real one, all that whole series. Certain people hadn't talked before the series started, because, like, there were a bunch of hermits, and then there were a bunch of, like, more of the... Oh, and then there were a bunch of, like, the Empire's sort of crew who, like, had been on a lot of servers, like X-Life and, like, different ones like that they already knew each other. And when you see, like, when the hermits start to interact with people like Jimmy and Martin and Bigby and stuff, they're very different and a little bit, like, they don't know how to, like, interact with everybody because they hadn't interacted before. And you can see that, and that is so real when you're trying to interact with people for the first time in a game like the Life series. It's so hard to be, like, just ruthless.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think probably the best example of this is actually in Double Life, the Ranchers. Yes,
they were so, like cautious around each other at first.
And they, and I think this actually ended up working really well for them, because, like, and Jimmy's spoken on this, he loves being the butt of the joke, which means he always is the butt of the joke, but because he'd never really, like, interacted with Tango before on, like, such an extensive level, like, Tango's not just gonna start ragging on him immediately.
Yeah.
So they actually had this really sweet dynamic that you don't see a lot of people. Like
yeah,
Jimmy
because Jimmy
cows,
always...
and Tango's excited.
Yeah. That's why Ranchers is such, like, a wholesome point of view to watch, because, like, it's the one person who's not ragging on Jimmy all the time.
Yeah, and so it made something, like, really unique, and that's really some of the fun of the Life series, I think.
Yeah. And then sometimes it's super funny on the other side of things when people who know each other too well end up being, like, forced together by fate again. Like, obviously the Desert Duo is the prime example of that. But also,
I think probably at least Grian, I don't know what Scar's thoughts are on it, but I feel like at least Grian has explicitly stated that he wants to try and team with everyone at least once.
Yeah.
So getting paired with Scar, like, I think he, Third Life was the first one, which means that's the one people are most attached to. I think he's been trying to kill Desert Duo because he's like, that's not what this is. Don't just keep looking for Desert Duo. We're gonna do some new stuff.
Yeah. And other examples of that are, like, how, like, Tango and Skiz end up paired in almost every series.
Even when
except
they're trying
Love Life.
not to. And that's just because Skiz wasn't there.
Oh, I forgot he wasn't there for that one.
Yeah, I feel so bad. He had FOMO.
Yeah. Another example of people who, like, who ended up paired was, Jimmy and Scott in Third Life. They were like, it's like, oh my gosh, of all people I could have run into, it was you.
Yeah, and now I think both of them are also trying to kill Flower Husbands.
They are so much. People get really attached to certain ships, and I can't say I'm not guilty of that, but I do
what
try
are they gonna
not
do?
to.
They can't actually kill it, because a good portion of the people who enjoy their content enjoy it because they learned about these people through these dynamics.
Yeah. I feel bad.
Like, you can't, as much as, like, I think they only want to kill it because that's what people want all the time, and it's like, no, they're more than that one thing that you enjoyed. They can they can do other things that you can also enjoy.
Oh, I've fallen. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like most people who watch content understand, like, the difference between reality and the games that they're playing.
Yeah.
Some people don't let it go. But that's always a minority of people.
I had a thought about my skin, which I did actually by doing this. I remembered that I did have a thought. Which was really early on in the conversation we were talking about sort of like our reactions to the Lasting Life finale.
Oh yeah.
And I think I might have said this before, but I don't think it's in any of the videos. So this is some Aspen lore. In Love Life, Aspen has, like, bandaged, like, leg and a bandaged head. That's because I specifically put those there because it's, like, injuries from the previous season. And it's because when I had that actual physical reaction, I had a headache, and for some reason my hip was hurting.
Oh no.
And so I put those injuries on my Love Life skin. I thought that was a cool bit of lore.
It is.
And I also, when we do continue, I will drop this right now. There is going to be some more skin-based lore for Aspen coming in around the end of the season.
That's cool.
Can't say any more than that because it's secret.
That's cool. Making skins is one of the things that I really love about the Last Life, Love Life stuff. It's just like, I get to it's what I love about, like, any new server I'm on. I just make a skin and then making my skin for, like, the ending of Last Life was my favorite thing because of the second episode. When I was technically a yellow name, I have to manually /ban. I can't, like, right-click them. What were we talking about? We were skins.
Skins.
And just so, like, I had a lot of, like, blood on my hands after that session, even though Barry gave me, it was certainly not, like, a yellow name anymore, right? I had done a murder. Yeah. And which I had already made a red life skin, right? Before even session 1, I designed, a green, yellow, and red life skin. My green life, a purple space, jacket and silver and stuff. Whoops, I'm falling. My yellow life skin was a navy blue sky, and the red life was a black sky with red stars, which, if you've ever stained something navy blue with something red, you'll know that it turns black, because it darkens it very much, which just was perfect because that was not my intention, but I made a half red life, yellow life, basically just like, it was stained, but I just erased the yellow life skin layer to reveal the red life one, which, instead of it just my hands were bloodied and my, like, sleeves or whatever, which is just really cool, and I love that skin.
Yeah, it is so good.
Thank you.
Like, if I could have figured out how to use the lightning you created for our skin, I would.
Yeah.
I mean, I did, but I don't know why it did not want to work in the skin creator I was using.
Well, it had a lot of transparencies.
Yeah.
It does not work in most skin creators. Planet Minecraft, I think it works. But Planet Minecraft doesn't have layers, I don't think, so there's issues. Because basically the way I do my skins is by, doing it in Procreate and then, exporting it to Planet Minecraft to look at it and see if it looks good.
So you have, like, a process.
See?
Or, I don't know, I think it's related to NameMC. I'm looking at
Oh, okay.
Information on both of them.
Alright. Yeah. Oops, I have lost Minecraft. See, and then the one I always used to use as a kid was, Miners Need Cool Shoes. Because it had, like, layers that were easy to use and stuff. I really liked that one.
It's called minecraftskins.net.
Mm-hmm.
I use their skin editor, and I use that one specifically because, it has the best UI that I could find, for a mobile device.
Oh, yes, yeah. Mobile device is definitely more difficult.
Because I just make all my skins on my phone, which is apparently cursed. I don't understand.
It's a bit cursed, but I also flatten the skin out to make it, so I can't talk.
Yeah, I think yours is a bit more involved.
Uh-huh.
Like, mine only involves one program.
Oh no, I skinned Cosmic and I'm painting it! I'm just thinking about, like, just the way I do it, skinning my Minecraft character. And
oh my goodness.
Laying it flat and then painting it.
MJ.
Sorry. Skinned.
I can't believe you would do this to your own character. It had something to do with you and Cappy, or the love life thought process.
Yeah. I hope I get the chance to team up with, like, it's also fun to just be enemies, right? Yeah.
I covered my thoughts on that one.
I think so.
Um,
I feel like one of the reasons that like I didn't like Double Life as much as any of the others was because like Third Life was first, right? Gonna have like a very special place, and it's also where I started the non-hermit crafting. Yeah, I watched some like season 7, but for the most part, like I got into Hermitcraft at the like on the first episode of season 8. It was like I got into them during the hiatus between season 7 and 8, and I started like, so I was like starting to make artwork for them, and I was drawing like as many hermits as I could on one like piece of paper. And then season 8 like happened while I was making that artwork, and I changed their skins as if I could, because some of them it was like I couldn't do like Mumbo's shorts skin because he was already like in colored pencil in a full suit. Changed their skins well enough, but I got into Hermitcraft like right at the beginning of season 8. So I think that was like when Third Life was happening. I'm confused now.
Yeah.
If we're thinking about like the characters, they like if we're thinking of them as the same characters, nothing else has as much weight as the first one, because we know that they sort of like respawn, you know, in a way.
Yeah.
So sometimes I think of each series as like completely different worlds, like they're not respawning, right? Like in a story kind of way. So but also like the lore does have them connect. So I always have a fondness for the first of any series because it's like the most like real. Or
it's
whatever.
The one that introduced you to it.
Yeah, if so it has a very.
If you didn't like the first one, you probably wouldn't have watched the rest.
Yeah.
But if you love the first one so much, and then they change it in the next one, you're like,
And I do like I like all the dynamics. Like I can't say that I don't. I have a like it's in my brain about them, you know, because Last Life might have been my favorite, even though I love Third Life so much. Favorite, so he won that one. He was really good in that one. And like the Scott and Pearl, I loved Scott and Pearl, which was another funny pairing. Yeah, Girl Boss. Yeah, which was another funny pairing to happen.
In Double Life, I was so excited. I was like, oh, I loved like we got.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there'd been 2 seasons at that point, and then we got like my favorite pairings from both of them, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. I was actually upset when they started doing the divorce quartet. I was like, no.
I was a little bit
so
too.
Well last time.
Yeah.
But it worked so well.
Oh, it absolutely did. But
so I think it's just the fact that like at least for me, like I remember coming into Last Life and I'm like, what is this? This isn't Third Life. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But it's still just as good. It's just you gotta, you know, accept that it's gonna be different each time. And now that that's like a known thing, like we're 5 seasons in. Like I'm like,
I didn't like the name, changing the name, and then I thought that everything else would be Last Life as well. And I do sort of call it the Last Life series because of that. Because, you know, has a connotation of only 3, and none of the other ones really had only 3. Well, Double Life did, but...
Yeah, Double Life did.
Secret Life did too, actually.
The Life series, the Traffic series.
Yeah, the Life series. Yeah, it's just... Some people used to call it... I remember when some people started calling it X-Life, because it was an X amount of lives, but it's like, no! X-Life is X-Life! And it has, like, a bunch of the same people in it. You cannot call it that.
Can't call it the same thing. That'd be so confusing.
Yeah. And then, and then also there was, like, the whole Afterlife, series, like, so Afterlife, and it was Scott and Jimmy and Martin and Catherine and stuff. Afterlife has
I've not watched it, but I have heard of it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, like, life series, you know? It's
Yeah.
Like,
The Traffic.
People usually call it the Traffic series, and then, like, Traffic Twitter and Traffic Tumblr, Traffic Blur.
Yeah, that seems to be the most, like, defining thing. That was really confusing for me, though, because, like, when I first was starting to get into it, I would see the tag, like, traffic shipping, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
What does this mean? And I would Google it, and there was no explanation.
No, because it's not, it's just because the colors line up the name.
Yeah.
But
I'm about to get so lost in the mines.
The difference between when they call it life and when they call it traffic is the difference between fandom and, like, canon, you know? Fandom is...
I thought of it that way.
Fandom... Because... Traffic is, like, completely made by the fandom, I think.
I'd not thought of it that way. That's an interesting distinction to make.